Recently, we had a workshop at the Winter Park Library, and it was all about taxes and retirement. And I want to go over some of the highlights because I know there were a few folks that wanted to come but weren't able to attend, so I wanted to give you the highlights of that event. It featured a local CPA and myself talking a little bit about retirement and taxes. We covered a bunch of different topics from Social Security, talked a little bit about the taxes on taking income in retirement. We touched on some estate planning issues when it comes to taxes and also the planning aspect, things like wills, trusts, and then we also touched a little bit on Medicare. Now, I wanted to touch on one specific thing that we covered at the workshop, and that was all about different investments have different tax consequences. And I think we've all heard, hey, you need to diversify your investments. But I think oftentimes we forget that we need to diversify our future taxes. And we do that by putting money in different types of accounts. Accounts like taxable accounts, things like tax deferred accounts. That's where 401ks live. That's where your IRAs, individual retirement accounts. And then there's also some tax-free accounts like Roths. I know we get into a lot of terms and some jargon here, but it's just important to have money in different spots. So then when you go to retire, you have accounts that you can pull from that have different tax ramifications. And we talked about the taxes from an income perspective, from an income tax perspective. I think we all kind of understand that general principle, tax bracket and things like that. But taking from these accounts can also affect other areas of our financial life. Things like Social Security. If your income's over a certain limit, your Social Security can be taxable. Same thing on the Medicare side. If your income is over a certain amount, then Medicare has an income adjustment. So if you make a little bit more, you pay more per month. Workshop went really well. We had a lot of really good questions, and we're covering the Social Security and Medicare section on October 21st, and I'd love to include you in that event. It takes place at 5:30 at the Winter Park Library. We'll spend about a half hour on Social Security, and then we'll also spend about a half hour on Medicare. Just like our previous workshops, you can ask questions. It's a great one if you're nearing accessing one of those systems. And it's also a great workshop if you have any friends or family members that are thinking about, again, accessing the Social Security or Medicare system. If you have any questions about what we covered at the workshop in terms of taxes or anything relating to our upcoming workshop on, again, Social Security and Medicare, love to see you there, but I'm also available for any questions.